from SLJ Consultancy, aka the Business Fixer. So first of all, I just wanted to give you an initial introduction as to a little bit about me and how I kind of got to be doing what I'm doing now. So I used to be a solicitor. I was in the legal profession for over a decade, and for 7 of those years I ran my own law firm, which certainly gave plenty of challenges along the way. And it's those challenges which I know from that personal experience how I can then help other business owners so that they either don't have to face those challenges, or if they are facing similar challenges, I can give them the guidance and the support so they don't feel so alone. The one thing I know from my experience of being a business owner, it can be one of the loneliest places, because often you don't know where to turn. There are certain things that you're facing and you can be stuck in your own head. And I know that, even when I've been doing the business consultancy, I've had moments like that. So everything that I ultimately do is based on my personal experience. So I have pretty much gone through near enough every business challenge you can possibly think of. I also had a situation where, kind of during lockdown or just before, I had probably one of the most challenging years of my life, where I literally had separated from my husband, I had moved home, I ended up having to change careers, and my dog passed away, all within a 12-month period. That, as you can probably imagine, hit my mental health badly. This was all within COVID. I was completely on my own, and in all honesty, I can actually say, for me personally, COVID actually did me a favour, because it meant I could hide away and I could put myself back together again. Now, I'm not ashamed to admit that my mental health was so bad that if it wasn't for the dog, before she passed away, I wouldn't still be here today. Now, that's also part of the reason that when I do what I do with the business consultancy, I also do mindset coaching as well, because the skills that I learned, which actually got me through my mental breakdown, is what I use with my clients. I took the decision not to take medication despite the doctors wanting me to, and it was those things that got me through the other side. So in terms of a little bit more about what I do specifically, ultimately my aim is to help businesses run more efficiently, more effectively, and ultimately more profitably, to enable you as a business owner to have more freedom. Now, freedom to everybody could mean something completely different, whether it's financial freedom, whether it's freedom to spend more time with your family, whether it's freedom to work on another project. But ultimately, that's what I aim to do. And I do that by focusing on things like your systems and processes, in terms of your mindset and the vision for what you see with your business, whether it's in terms of not just actually the vision of the business, but you as a person, because ultimately, in my view, your business is there to help you fulfill your own dreams. So whatever your personal goals are. So for example, I know Danny, he loves his cars. Me and him get on brilliantly with that, because we're both complete petrol heads. But in terms of, it might be the fact that your vision is you want to have a car collection. It's certainly part of my vision. And then it's the business that actually enables you to fund that potential dream that you have. And I want to know the business owners that I work with, not just about their business, but about them as individuals, because if I understand them, I can then help them more in terms of their business, etc. Right? So that's a little bit in terms of about what I do. Now, what I also wanted to share with you is about 3 key business challenges. Now, these are the challenges that I'm seeing on a regular basis when I'm working with clients. The first one is finding the right type of client. Even I've had that challenge. And the key part in terms of finding the right type of client is it actually largely boils down to your marketing, right? Now, the one key thing with marketing is that you need to emotionally connect with your customer or client. They aren't just buying what you do, so the external problem. So for example, whether it's fixing windows and doors, whether it's financial advice, whether it's a mortgage, they're not just buying that external problem. What they are looking at is how the problem actually makes them feel. So it could be the fact that with your windows and doors, they're in such a mess that they feel embarrassed by their home, as an example, right? And it's that feeling that if you tap into that feeling and the fact that you can actually fix that emotional problem, that's when you will make a difference in terms of your marketing and helping you get some of the right types of clients, right? Now, if you look at Apple as an example of a product, now Apple aren't necessarily the best product on the market, and they're certainly not the cheapest product on the market. But people buy into the brand because it's about how the brand makes them feel. That's why they buy the product. Even literally, you've got Danny sitting there with his Apple laptop. I have an Apple iPhone. I wouldn't go for an Android because I like the product because in a way it's a bit like a status symbol, okay? And that's where, when you're looking at your marketing message, by focusing on making sure you connect with them on an emotional level as to that problem, it will make a massive difference to your business. The other thing that is crucial is tying into your why, right? Everybody has a purpose in life, and your why isn't necessarily just in your business itself, it's your personal why. Right? Now, for example, my why is freedom and independence. So when I said to you a moment ago about what I do with businesses, I give freedom to businesses. My marketing message ties into my why, and your marketing message needs to do exactly the same thing. The other key thing in terms of making sure you get the right type of clients is looking at who your target audience is. Now, it's not necessarily just based on specific industry, but it's also looking at the type of person. Or, for example, I'm going back to John again because I work a lot with the trades. It's the type of houses you want to be working with. Does he want to be working on multi-million-pound houses? Or does he want to be working on 3-bedroom semi-detached houses? Because your target audience will differ and your marketing will differ depending on who you're specifically targeting. So that's your first business challenge. The second business challenge I am seeing on a frequent basis is the cash flow. And this, I know that Lee will certainly, we had this conversation not that long ago, is do you know your numbers? Do you know what your profit level is? Do you know what you've got to make each month to actually cover your expenses? Do you know how much, I've got 2 minutes blind, that's gone quick. Do you know who you owe money to, your suppliers? Do you know in terms of what your customers owe you? Because ultimately, if you don't know your numbers, you cannot make decisions about your business. And ultimately, it means then you can ensure that you've got processes like your credit control process in place if people owe you money. And as I've got a very, very short period of time left, in terms of the third business challenge, and my mind has gone completely blank as to what I had actually had down. I'm going to say in terms, this wasn't what my initial thought was, in terms of finding staff. Now that's something else that I see on a frequent basis is a big challenge, is finding the right members of staff. If you have a good recruitment process in place, that is also crucial. So for example, as part of my recruitment process I had with the law firm, I would actually include a video as part of it. So before I'd even get to the face-to-face interview part, I would get them to do a video. It's not about them regurgitating their CV, it's about them showing why they actually want to work for you, what do they bring to the table. And you can generally avoid the time wasted in a face-to-face interview, because actually you'll know within probably about 10 seconds of watching that video whether that person is going to be suitable for the role or not. So that's another kind of hint and tip. Now in terms of, I hope some of those tips, I've done a very, very quick whistle-stop tour in terms of that, because the 10 minutes goes really quickly. So I hope you've got some benefit from what I've shared. Now I am at the moment, if you're potentially interested in working with me, I am at the moment offering a business review at a 50% discount. So that's where I literally will speak to you about your business. I will look at the challenges that you're facing, what's working well in your business, what is not working, and I will sit down with you and I can actually help put together a plan as to how you can actually manage those particular challenges. And even as an added bonus, if you decide you want me to help you implement that plan, you will also get that fee that you've paid in relation to the business review off your first consultancy invoice. The other thing that I will do very quickly is to promote is my monthly mastermind. 26th of October, please mark it in your diaries. The mastermind is something I am really excited about, and it's about getting 20 business owners into a room. In the morning there is training by me, and then in the afternoon is hot seating, where I will pick 5 business owners in the room, what is their business challenge they're facing right now, and I will be providing them with actionable solutions to help them take away that they can implement in their business immediately. It's also an opportunity for collaboration, because ultimately I want the other business owners also supporting one another and also giving ideas. I'm trying to build a business community, as I said at the very beginning of this. Ultimately, being a business owner can be an incredibly lonely place. And if you've got that support, you've got that encouragement, you've got that community and that collaboration, it can make all the difference. So, next one is on the 26th of October. If you're interested in relation to the business review or the mastermind, or just generally working with me, then please do come and speak to me afterwards. So I hope you've enjoyed my presentation. So thank you very much.
Also, if anyone's got a quick question for Sarah.
Sorry, I did talk very quickly, so...
Okay. Well, I've got a quick question. So
yes.
You mentioned that you work with trades.
Yes.
Is that kind of your thing?
Well,
I
I have to say, I've kind of got to the point where I'm actually diversifying, because in reality, I kind of got myself into a niche of a niche. So systems and processes are really kind of my niche. And I love working with trades and construction, because I find, in the nicest possible way, they probably need my help more than a lot of other industries, because systems and processes seem to be non-existent for them. So I do enjoy working with them, but I'm finding that actually I'm working with a lot of other types of businesses, particularly in the professional services industry. So ultimately, I'm interested in working with any business owner that is struggling with their systems and processes. I'm sort of looking at sort of SME market, but ultimately, trades and construction I love working with, but sometimes they're not the easiest to kind of get them to see the value in which you bring. You guys are kind of a world unto your own. It's a bit like the legal profession. They're kind of in a bit.
You mentioned customer care. That's a good point, Nick, because obviously when I go to a property's house, like I said, sometimes they're embarrassed for you to be there. You know, there's cobwebs and pieces, but at the end of the day, you don't know the situation. You can't, judge a book by cover, and it's true. And it's a valid point, really. You have to speak to the customer. You have to make them feel at ease. I know plenty of installers who have just gone in there thinking that's worth that much money. I'm going to be done by 4 o'clock. I'm out of here. Well, don't care. Whereas yourself, you go in and you speak to the customer. You make that time. You have to make them feel comfortable in their own home.
Yeah.
And then once you've done that, and then they feel at ease, and then straight away you're recommended.
Yes. But that is then you're emotionally connecting with that customer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a good point.